In his 74th PGA start, Canadian Taylor Pendrith, the 32-year-old from the greater Toronto area, is a winner for the first time on the PGA Tour, taking home the 2024 Byron Nelson by one stroke with that putt on 18. One stroke better than American Ben Coles, who had a one-stroke lead going into 18, but the Dallas native crumbled in his attempt to become a PGA Tour winner for the first time. 41-year-old Alex Noren, who also still hasn't won on the PGA Tour, finishes 2 strokes off the lead in sole possession of 3rd place. And welcome to CBS Sports HQ and our post-round golf coverage presented by TaylorMade. QI10 drivers, our most forgiving family of drivers ever. Russ Taylor here in studio, joined by CBS Sports golf writer Kyle Porter. All right, Kyle, what a finish. That was at the same time hard to watch, and also you got to be happy for Taylor Pendrith for the way he came through. How did you watch those last 2 holes with Coles and Pendrith?
Well, it was interesting. I was on CBS Sports HQ earlier today, and I picked Pendrith to win. You know, he had a pretty, not commandingly, but he seemed to be in command of his game going into Sunday. He was playing well early on, and he did end up winning, just not in the sort of the way that I thought he would. He kind of, I thought Taylor Pendrith kind of stalled out over that back 9, just didn't hit some of the best shots. He had a safe par on 16 and 17 as Ben Coles made birdie to take the lead going to 18. And then the entire script flipped, right, on 18. Pendrith makes a 4, and Ben Coles makes one of the yippiest 6s you'll see on the PGA Tour. Just a really weird and unfortunate time to make a bogey on a pretty easy par 5. That's not a very difficult hole. This 4 on the last, here's the chip by Ben Coles. That's tough. That's a shot that you and I have probably hit a few times for us, and that's a bad time for it. He ends up missing this putt on the high side, actually, coming back for par. That would have gotten him into a playoff. But a good victory for Pendrith. Obviously, he's a solid player. You know, he's kind of emblematic of the type of player that is in this event, where he's had a good PGA Tour career, but no victories to date. And now he's got a victory to kind of validate what his career has been so far, and will probably end up being on that President's Cup team later in 2024. Yeah,
that was actually going to be my next question. How much of a motivational tool do you think just having the President's Cup sort of apple out there for Pendrith has been for him this week?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if necessarily this week, but I think this year, you know, for the President's Cup to be going to Canada, right, after he experienced it in 2022, the last time it was played in the United States. But to go to Canada, all those guys, Adam Hadwin, Nick Taylor, Pendrith, Corey Connors, they all want to be on that team, especially with Mike Weir as the captain, it being played in Canada again later on in 2024. So, you know, we were talking about this earlier. Pendrith has not had a very good year, and he's not been hitting the ball very well. I think he's a pretty good ball striker relatively, and he hasn't been so far in 2024. So for him to find that this week and really hit the ball fairly solid at TPC Craig Ranch and go out and get a victory, it has to be a huge confidence boost for him after kind of what I would say is a really below average start for Taylor Pendrith to start 2024.
And Pendrith, though, has to be feeling pretty good after this weekend. Hang tight there for a second, Kyle, because Amanda Balionis from CBS Sports caught up with the winner, Taylor Pendrith, right after he won the Byron Nelson.
And it took everything you had. Explain what it was like to make that winning putt for your very first PGA Tour win.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, Ben played great today, and, you know, birdied 16 and 17. You know, I didn't hit my best iron shots down the stretch, but, you know, a good 2-putt on the last was, I mean, feel for Ben making bogey. He played so well today, but yeah, super thrilled. It's amazing. I'm shaking.
Talk me through those huge par saves on 16 and 17 and what's going through your body when you're now down 1 with 1 to play.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I kind of had a jumper on 16, and that first putt, if I thought if I played it too high, it wouldn't come back. So that was a huge save. And 17, I hit a really good shot, and it just spun off the front and had an awkward stance, but it just curled in that putt on the last second there, which was unreal, just to give me a chance. And like I said, I feel for Ben, but obviously really good birdie on the last for me.
This This is a career changer for you. We'll now see you at Quail Hollow next week, but more importantly, you get to do it in front of your wife, Meg, and your son, Hayes. Mackenzie Hughes, ready with a cocktail in hand. We love that about you Canadians. Just how special is it to celebrate with all of them?
Yeah, it's super special. Obviously haven't had my best stuff this year, and to have them here, they've been here through everything, and it's super special. It's Meg's my biggest fan and support staff, and then to have this little guy by my side every week is amazing, and so I'm just super thrilled that they're here.
Hayes, can you say Daddy won?
Say Daddy.
We're going to work on that one, Andrew. It's okay. A little camera shy for his first time. Congratulations on a massive victory.
Sports, those par putts on 16 and 17, in a way, that's what put him in position, right? Really nervy, really tough putts, going for his first PGA Tour victory. I wonder how much residual value that might bring to him moving forward this season, just knowing he can put down fairly lengthy putts in really difficult situations.
Yeah, I think there's two things for us when we talk about those putts. The first thing that comes to mind is what you're talking about, which is confidence. The margins at the very top of the PGA Tour are so thin, and to have any advantage or confidence booster like that can pay huge dividends. It can be the difference between being the 80th best player on tour and the 30th best and getting into the Tour Championship. So that's a big deal. I think in the micro sense, I wonder how much making that, like he said, it was a kind of a 360 par putt on 17 affected Ben Coles on 18. And what I mean by that is there's a big difference between having a 2-shot lead and a 1-shot lead when you're around the green on 18. With a 2-shot lead, you just feel looser. With a 1-shot lead, you're feeling what I'm sure Ben Coles was feeling was, I have to hit a great shot here and get up and down because he's probably going to 2-putt for birdie. And if I don't, then I'm probably not going to win. And so I wonder how much those par putts put a little bit of pressure on Ben Coles and maybe contributed to Taylor Pendrith getting this win.
Well, it is worth noting that bogey on 18 from Ben Coles was the only bogey of the day, period, by any of the golfers on 18, and that's what cost him the tournament, perhaps. That's CBS Sports golf writer Kyle Porter. Kyle, stick around. We're going to be talking again soon, I'm sure. Hey, introducing our most forgiving family of drivers ever. It's the all-new QI10 drivers, only from TaylorMade. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.